So who wants to tell me what I did to it? I had a diameter, and the diameter looked like this. And then I did something to it. Who can tell me, what did I do? I'll do it again. Okay, Eleanor, go for it.
Make it a half.
Yes, that's it. Guys, everybody look what I did again. I took the diameter, and everybody go like this, and I want you to chop it in half. Now, what happens when you chop a diameter in half? I'm even going to write this down. You chop a diameter in half. What do you get? What do you get? Does anybody know what it's called? It's really, really special. It is called a, Eleanor knows. Go for it.
Radius.
Yes. Everybody write it down, please. Everybody draw a circle. Draw a section from the center to any point on the circle. Make a line, and that's called the radius. All right. Are you guys ready? This is the best part. Everybody, let me see one of your arms. Go like this with one of your arms.
Last time's homework.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that inside your arm, there is a bone called the radius bone. Everybody go like this. This is the radius.
This is the radius.
And if you go, guys, can you go like this? If you hold your elbow and move your radius bone, doesn't that make a circle? Like if the tips of your fingers had ink on it, you could make a beautiful circle. Now, by the way, are there any who are doctors and who can tell us what that bone really is called? I think it's called the radius bone. Nathan, do you know?
My grandma was a doctor, and she told me that I think it was the radius bone.
Wow, that's so cool. You listen really well, Nathan, to your grandmother. That's so cool. Well, you know what? I have to ask my wife, Eileen, because Dr. Eileen Kramer, she's a pediatrician, and she could probably tell me if that's the radius. But I love making circles with my arm, and it's so funny that they call it the radius bone. Now, I'm going to ask you a question about this radius. You remember what Eleanor just said? She said that the radius times 2 equals the what, everybody? Come on, raise your hand if you know. 2 radii. In fact, I'm going to actually go like this, put another radius there. And go ahead, Valerie.
Diameter.
Yes. 2 radius equals diameter. Now, I wonder if you guys can tell me the radius of your favorite sphere. Who can give me their favorite sphere? On this page right here, if you remember, there are a bunch of sphere-like objects. Who can give me one that they really, really like? And then we're going to figure out the radius. Who wants to choose one? All right, go for it, Eleanor.
Tennis ball.
Yes, I think you chose well. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to draw a circle around the tennis ball and see if this works. Ah, it worked. Now, if the diameter of a tennis ball is 2.5 inches, so let's write that down. Diameter of a tennis ball equals 2.5 inches. Who can figure out the radius? And remember, all you have to do is cut it in half. Now, don't call it out, please. Raise your hand when you have an idea. And I also really like to use something called partitions, meaning that I take the number 2.5 and I split it up into really easy parts. 2 plus what? You can say it out loud. Valerie, unmute yourself, please. 2 plus, everybody say it, 1/2. And then what we want to do is cut 2.5 in half. So let's cut 2.5. And then let's cut a half in half. So who can tell me what is half of 2? Go ahead, Valerie. Go ahead, Valerie. You have to unmute yourself, honey, and leave yourself unmuted. Please.
1.
It is 1. Now, the much harder question. What is 1/2 of 1/2? So let's say that I have a square and I cut that square in half, and then I cut the half of the square in half. What is that portion called of the whole square? Who can tell me? Come on, Stella. I know you know this. Come on, Eric. You can do it. How many pieces are there?
4.
Yes. Go ahead, say it, Stella.
4.
So,
4.
so what is that piece called? Say it out loud. 1 what, everybody?
Half.
No. 1/2. Guys, 1/2 is that, the red. But the black is half of a half, which is 1/4. So everybody, if we add 1 plus 1/4, what do we get? Come on, everybody say it.
1 1/4.
That is correct. And now we can take our tennis ball. We can go and draw the radius. And it's so much fun to write the word radius. I think it's a very, very interesting word. And we know that it is 1 1/4 inch. long. Now, we're going to try something a little bit harder. Would anybody like, let's see, let's go to page 9. Go to page 9, and there's something called a net ball. It's called a net ball. And I'm going to make this even bigger. So a net ball has a diameter of 226 centimeters. Now, wait, that doesn't seem right, does it? 226 centimeters. That can't be right. It must be millimeters. It must be millimeters. Mr. Kramer made a mistake. It must be millimeters. So I'm going to write that out again. And this is mm for millimeters. 226 millimeters. Now, look what we did. Mr. Kramer took 226 and I partitioned it.
I got to mommy.
Kramer,
Everybody look. Yes, honey.
I actually changed like the centimeter to millimeter before the class because I read it and I seemed wrong.
Oh, thank you, Nathan. That is awesome. You should, if something seems wrong, you should always ask a question because Mr. Kramer makes mistakes like everybody else, and it's great when I learn something. So if you look at 226, I like to write it as 200 plus 20. Eric, how much more do I need? Right. Now, everybody, I bet that we can cut 200 in half. Everybody, let's say it. On 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
100.
100.
Yes. Now, everybody cut 20 in half. Remember, 20 is 2 tenths. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hey.
Right. And of course, if we want to cut 6 in half, if we want to cut 6 in half on 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah, now what does that spell? 100 plus 10 plus 3 on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
113.
Wow. That in millimeters is the diameter, the radius of a netball. Now, would you believe it that Mr. Kramer is going to teach you today about division?
Division?
A lot of students they say, Mr. Kramer, we don't know division yet. You know what? Yes, you do. Once you showed me that you could divide 200 by 2 to get 100, divide 20 by 2 to get 10, and divide 6 by 2 to get 3, raise your hand right now if you know division. Go ahead. You all do. You were all able to do it. Now, we're going to write this problem a number of different ways. Ready? 226 divided by 2. Everybody write that down. 226 divided by 2. This symbol means division. It's kind of a fun symbol. And I also want to tell you that if you were to type into your computer, are you guys listening? If you were to type and hold down the option key, everybody say option.
Option.
You hold
Option.
the option key and you hit the key that looks like a slash. It's called a forward slash. And watch what happens. It becomes a division symbol. So 226 divided by 2. Now, Mr. Kramer is not really a big fan of the division symbol. It's important to know, but I much prefer fractions. So when Mr. Kramer writes division, he writes it as 226. Everybody say it. Divided. Say it. Divided by 2. Now, there's another way to write it. And this is actually my favorite. So my favorite way to write it is to make like almost like an L that is knocked over 90 degrees to the right, 1/4 turn. If you knock an L over like this and you write 226 inside the L, everybody do that right now. So you make kind of a knockdown L. And let me show you what I mean. It starts out as an L and then you kind of knock it down like this. Okay? Now, I want you on the left side of the vertical bar, you're going to put the number 2. Now, raise your hand if you wrote that on your paper. Eleanor did. Valerie did. I'm still waiting for Eric. Stella did. I'm still waiting for Nathan. And Nathan, yes?
Wait a minute, I'm not done yet.
Okay, buddy.
Done.
Oh, right. Eric, you're done, buddy? Okay, good. Now, everybody say, how many times does 2 go into the number 2? How many times does 2 go into the number 2? How many 2s am I holding up? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
2.
No.
1.
No, there's only 1. There's 1. Now, let's try that again. How many 2s am I holding up? How many are there?
1.
There's only one group of 2. So we write the number 1 above the first 2. Everybody do that. Because 2 goes into 2 one time, we put 1 above the first 2. Now, this is going to be easy for you. Why? How many 2s go into this 2? How many 2s? Say it, Valerie.
1.
Of course. So everybody put a 1. Everybody put a 1 above the second 2. Now, the best part about this is the question, how many 2s go into the number 6? Now, don't say it out loud. You can count by 2s and go 2, 4. Okay, ready? 2, 4, 6. How many 2s?
3.
Wait a minute. Did we just get the same answer, 113? Look at this. We did it using partitions and got 113. We used short division and got 113. Now, who can tell me which way they like better? Who can raise their hand and tell me which one they like better? Go ahead, Valerie.
Division.
I love it. I love it. I mean, they're both division, but this one is called standard algorithm, and Mr. Kramer calls it short division. Now, I'm gonna warn you about something. Are you ready for a warning? In about 2 or 3 years, you guys are gonna learn something in school called long division. And you want to be respectful to your teachers. So you will let them teach you long division. However, you are going to be experts in short division. And does anybody want to know why Mr. Kramer doesn't like long division? And why I really like short division? Does anybody know? Because long division is long. Why would I want to do long division when I can do short division? So we're going to learn short division today. And I think what we should do is let's look at the planets. Oh, I like this one. Let's look at Mars. Now, Mars has a diameter of 4,200 miles. So everybody write that down on any piece of paper. Mars has a diameter of 4,200 miles. Now, in order for us to find the radius, we need to divide the diameter by 2. So everybody, 4,200 divided by 2. Now, I want you to write it down like I taught you with the knocked over L and divide by 2. Now, who wants to start us off? Who wants to tell us how many times 2 goes into the number 4? Don't say it out loud. I've got 2 hands up already. I've got Valerie and Eleanor who know how many times 2 goes into 4. Nathan, what about you? Eric, what about you? Stella, what about you? Any ideas, Eric? Eric, if you count by 2, everybody say it on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
2.
Right. Everybody go like this. 2, 4. Do it again. 2, 4. There are 2 in 4. Now, you already know this from the last problem we did. How many times does 2 go into 2?
1.
Only 1. That's right. But this is a strange question. How many times does 2 go into 0? Who has an idea? Eleanor, what are you thinking about? What do you think? Valerie, how many times does 2 go into 0? How many 2s do you see there? If I'm holding up 0 fingers, how many 2s are there?
0.
Ah, everyone, guess what? The answer is 0. And it's the same thing, another 0. Everybody write the 2 zeros. Now, who can tell me what is the radius of Mars in miles? Who can answer the question by reading that number? And I'm even going to put a little comma in there to help you out. Stella, I know you can read that number.
2,100. 2,100.
That is correct.
That is exactly the number I found out.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? Do you know that there's another way to say it? Does anybody know a second way to say 2,100? And I'm going to give you a little hint. It starts with the words 21.
Is it 2100?
Nathan, say it again, buddy.
Is it 2100?
Yes, it's called 2100s. Or,
My mom says it like 21 tens.
oh, wait. Say that again.
21 tens.
Actually, I think what your mom said, if she did, is that it's 210 tens.
Oh.
So the number can be read as 2,100 or 21 hundreds or 210 tens. Now, 210 tens is kind of a mouthful. I prefer 2,100 or 2,100. In any event, that is a really long radius. Now, who gets to pick the next planet? Who would like to pick the next planet? And I'm going to make this a little bit easier to read. Eleanor, I want you to pick your favorite planet.
Venus.
Ooh. And Venus, can you tell me what is the diameter of Venus?
7,000.
Go ahead. Who's going to tell me the diameter of Venus? Go ahead, Val.
7,500.
Everybody go, awesome, awesome. 7,500. So we're going to write the diameter is 7,500 miles, or we could say how many hundreds? Come on, how many hundreds?
75.
500. Or Stella, how many tens?
75.
750 tens. But of course, we're not going to call it 750 tens. We can call it either 7,500 or 7,500. Now, this one is going to be a little bit harder. Are you ready to divide 7,500 by 2? If you're ready, give me that upside down L, please. And write 7,500 inside it and put a 2 on the outside. Beautiful job, Eleanor. Beautiful job. Now, this is the fun part. I want you to tell me how many 2s go into the number 7. And there's going to be something called a remainder. For instance, let's say that I have, I don't know, let's say that I have 10 dots. And I was dividing 10 divided by 3. Watch what happens. How many 3s is that? 1. How many 3s is there now?
2,
How many 3s now?
3,
And yet there is 1 left over. And that 1 is called 1/3 because it is 1/3 of 3. So this is called remainder. Everybody say remainder.
remainder.
Watch this, guys. 10 divided by 3 is 3 with a remainder of 1. And of course, we say 1/3 because 10 divided by 3 is 10/3. So now, who can tell me how many times 2 goes into the number 7? And if you want, we can even make 7 dots and we can circle them. How many groups of 2 was I able to circle?
3,
With how many left over?
1,
So here's what you do. Put a 3 above the 7 and put a little tiny 1 next to the 5, which is the next number. Now, that is called the remainder. That is called the remainder. Now, I want, and I'm going to even write that word down again, remainder. Now, this is going to be hard. Who can tell me what number we're looking at now? Does that look like the number 15 to you? Guess what? It's 15. How many times does 2 go into 15? So you might say, Mr. Kramer, can you please make 15 dots? Okay, I'll make 15 dots. And then we can count how many 2s go into it. Are you ready? Go. 2, 4,
4,
6,
6,
8,
8,
8,
10,
10,
12,
12,
14.
14.
Stop right there. How many 2s was I able to find in the number 15? Raise your hand if you see it. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
14,
7, 7,
Guys,
Seven.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. Is there a remainder? Is there a remainder? What do you think? And how big is the remainder? How big is the remainder? How big is the remainder, everybody? Nobody's going to say how big that remainder is?
7.
That look like 7 to you?
1.
Just like this was a remainder of 1, this is a remainder of 1. So we're going to put a little 1 right next to the 0. And who can tell me what number we're looking at now?
1.
If we were looking at 15 here, what are we looking at here?
0.
No, that's just
50.
10.
of course. Who said 10?
Eleanor.
Eleanor is right. It is now the number 10 because we have a remainder of 1 in front of it. Who can tell me how many times 2 divides into 10? Let's count. You ready? Go. 2,
2.
6,
6.
10. Do it again. 2, 4,
6,
10.
8,
Do it again. 2,
4, 6, 8, 10.
10. How many
2,
2's go into 10? How many 2's go into 10?
5.
That's
5.
right. And no remainder. How many 2's go into 0?
0.
And guess what, everybody? You just found the radius of Eleanor's favorite planet. The radius of Venus is this number. Who thinks they can read that number? It's a really hard one to read. Stella, go for it.
3,750 miles.
Say it a little slower so everybody could hear it.
3,750 miles.
Guys, that's it. Venus has a radius of 3,750 miles. Stella, nice job. Now, who is going to pick the next planet? Valerie, go for it.
Pay attention.
Saturn.
Oh, wow. Is everybody comfortable with the coolest planet in the solar system, Saturn? Oh my gosh, it is definitely the coolest planet. How many planets in the universe have rings? Now, in our solar system, believe it or not, Jupiter, Uranus, and Saturn have rings. Some people even believe that Pluto has rings, or I'm sorry, Neptune has rings as well. But it's really, really difficult to see with a telescope. So Saturn has a diameter, and who can read that number? Don't say it out loud. Who can read the diameter of Saturn? Eric, do you think you could do it? It's kind of hard. You have to say that number as thousands and this number just as hundreds. You want to try it, Eric?
74.
74 what?
No good.
Thousand. Say 74,000. And then what's left over here? 900. Say 900.
900.
74,900. Wow. That is a big diameter. So we're going to write down 74,900 miles as the diameter of Valerie's favorite planet, Saturn. Now, we must divide it by 2. But we love short division. So everybody write down 74,900 and we're going to divide it by 2. Everybody write that down.
Write down. Come on, write down.
And remember, guys, we're going to have remainders. So after we take 2 away from 7 and after we take 2 away from 9, there's going to be something left over. So don't forget about the remainders. Now, who can tell me how many times 2 goes into 7 and what is the remainder? And by the way, I like to use my fingers when I count by 2s because it really helps me to keep track of how many 2s I've taken out. Raise your hand if you would like to share your thoughts about 7 divided.
3.
Who would like to share? Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead, Eric. What do you think, Eric? Go ahead, Eric. I called on you, buddy.
Chair.
Eric, how many times does 2 go into 7, buddy?
3.
Say it out loud.
3.
Yes. And who can tell me the remainder? What's left over after we take away 3 2s? Valerie?
1.
Uh-oh. Valerie's right. Do you know what that means? We now have to find out how many 2s go into 14. So everybody, here we go. Put your hands up and close. We're going to count by 2s until we hit 14. And when we look at our fingers, it's going to tell us what is 14 divided by 2. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 2,
2.
4,
4. 6.
6,
8. 8. 10. 10. 12.
12.
14.
How many? How many?
7.
Everybody, 7. We have 7 2s go into 14. Awesome. Now, guess what? Who thinks they can tell me how many 2s go in 9? Nathan, I want to hear from you on this one. And Nathan, angle your computer down because all I can see is the top of your head. Much better. Much better. Go ahead, Nathan. How many 2s go into 9, buddy?
2. 4.
Well-
6. 8. 10.
Wait a minute. 10's too big. You're only doing 9. So how many 2s go into 9? 2, 4, 6, 8. How many 2s, everybody? Say it. 4. And what's the remainder?
1.
Yes. What number are we looking at now, everybody?
10.
And we know how many 2's go into 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. How many?
5.
And how many 2's go into 0?
0. 0.
Uh-oh. I think we found the radius of Valerie's favorite planet. Who can read it now? Go, Valerie.
37,450.
Everybody say it with Mr. Kramer. Nice job, Valerie. 37,450. Now, we actually don't say the word and. We just say 37,450. Everybody do it again. Go.
37,000.
37,000.
450.
Do it again, but say it together on 3. Eleanor, get ready. Eric, get ready. 1, 2, 3, go.
37,450.
不要看爸爸，就看那个。
Awesome job. Now, I am going to pick the next planet. But I don't think I'm going to pick a planet at all. I'm going to pick a star. What star is Mr. Kramer going to choose?
Sun.
Yep.
Sun.
Let's do it, guys. The sun has a diameter of 865,000 miles. So we're going to write that down. 850,000 miles is the diameter of our star. Wait, did I write that down correctly? No, I did not. Mr. Kramer made a mistake. I meant to say 865,000 miles. And we are going to divide that by 2. But you know me, I want to do it with short division. Everybody write that out first. It's going to take about 10 seconds for you to write that down. All right. Now, who wants to do the first operation? I'm not even going to tell you what to do. I want to hear you on your own say, Mr. Kramer, we first have to find how many times 2 goes into, and then you have to tell me. Who wants to go first? Come on, you've done so many of these and you've done such a good job. In fact, I'm going to let you look at the last one we did. Stella, are you ready? You want to try it, Stella?
What? Ready for what?
Are you going to tell me which number we're dividing 2 into first? Here we divided 2 into 7 first. Here we divided 2 into 7. Here we divided, well, that's a bad example. Here we divided 2 into 4 first. So who can tell me what we're dividing 2 into first? Go ahead, Eleanor.
8.
Right. So 8 divided by 2 is what, everybody? How many times do we need to count by 2 to get to 8? Let's do it. Go. Come on, guys. Out loud, out loud.
2, 3,
4, 6,
6,
8. How many
8,
twos?
4,
4. That's right. There are 4 twos in the number 8. Now, the next one is a little bit easier. How many twos divide into the number? Into the number? Come on, guys.
6,
6. How many twos divide into the number 6? Go ahead. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
3,
Valerie, is that right? 2, 4, 6. She's right. 2 goes into 6 3 times. Now, the next question is the hardest. How many times does 2 go into 5? Who wants to try that one? Because there's going to be a remainder. There's going to be a number left over. Eleanor, let's hear what you have to say.
2,
I like it very much, Eleanor. And will you tell me the remainder, please?
1.
Oh boy, this is exciting. Who can tell me what number we're looking at now?
Oh,
What number?
because I have like to do composition and also
0,
Say it out loud. No, this is not 0.
10,
Put a 1 in front of it. It's a 10. And 2 goes into 10 on 3. Everybody say it. 1, 2, 3.
5,
That's right. And since 2 goes into 0 and 0, 0 times, oh boy, Saturn has the biggest radius in our solar system. Who can read that number? Who can read that number? Valerie, I want to hear you read it with big, big words.
432,500 miles.
Oh my gosh. Valerie, you didn't just get it right. You also didn't use the word and that time, which is beautiful. Everybody say it out loud. 432,000.
432,500 miles.
Do it again. 432.
432,500 miles.
Wow. Now, this week, this is your job. I have given you a number of different sheets where you can write down all types of circles and spheres and write down their diameters. And then all you have to do is cut them in half. You can either use partitions or you can use short division. You know that Mr. Kramer loves short division. And if you're really interested, and I know we're out of time, I want to show you something really fun. When you guys learn short division, you can divide any number you want by any number you want. Are you ready? 1,123,456,789 divided by, somebody give me a number to divide it by. A single digit. Say it out loud. Go. Somebody give me a single digit. How about 5? 5 goes into 12, 2, remainder 2. 5 into 23, 4, remainder 3. 5 into 34, 6, remainder 4. 5 goes into 45, 9, no remainder. 5 goes into 6, 1, remainder 1. 5 goes into 17, 3, remainder 2. 5 goes into 28, 5, remainder. And 5 goes into 39, 7, remainder 4. And so everybody, when you guys get really good at this, this is what you have to look forward to. All right? I hope everybody likes short division because you're not going to like long division, but when you get to it, you're going to have your own method. All right, everybody, say goodbye to your buddies and everybody say hello to Jason. Everybody say hello to Jason because I hope he'll watch this. Bye.